Soldier 76, the jack of all trades and the master of none. See what I did there? Because his real name is Jack Morrison. Anyways, enough of my little silly jokes and let's get straight into the best guide video for Soldier 76. As always, a quick disclaimer, this video aims to talk about Soldier 76 from a very individual perspective and not a team play perspective. However, I will talk about these elements here and there, and if you're interested in learning Overwatch in a more in-depth team play perspective, that is what my live streams and VOD reviews are for. So catch me over there for more in-depth stuff. I will do advanced guides in the future for all the heroes. For now, we're going to keep it simple and straightforward for new and returning players to pick up the characters that they might be interested in going into Overwatch 2 Season 6 Invasion or Overwatch 2 Invasion, whatever Blizzard is calling it. Because, you know, we will probably see a handful of new players. Anyways, Soldier 76. There's so much to talk about him. Recently, he got a handful of buffs that made him feel a lot better. That made him feel a lot more stronger. And his potential to confirm kills is actually pretty good now, especially if you strap on a Mercy Pocket or if you follow up your damage onto a Zenyatta Discord Orb. Soldier's going to do a lot. Now, for the people that don't know, Soldier does 19 damage per bullet, right? And obviously, you have the headshot multiplier, so if you're only doing headshots, you're going to do more damage than that. The right click for Soldier 76, I believe now does 80 damage, which is quite a bit too. No, sorry, not 80 damage. It now does 120 or something like that. Look, all I know is that it does a lot of damage, okay? It's a projectile, so that's one thing to keep in mind, is that when you're playing Soldier 76, your left click is a hit scan. So if you don't know what a hit scan is, hit scan means that wherever you shoot, your bullet will hit that spot, right? So if I'm aiming at this wall, it's going to hit that spot, as you can see, right? Projectile, which is his right click, his Helix rockets are a projectile. It means that the shot needs to be led, or for example, like, what I mean by this is that the rockets, in this case, there's Helix rockets, they're projectile, they have travel time. So what does travel time mean is that, you know, it's going to take some time for it to reach the target. So rather than aiming for the target, try to, you know, predict where they're going to move next. So if this target that you're fighting is already moving to the left, you're probably, you know, let's say he's going to move this way, you're probably better aiming just slightly more to the left so that by the time they move here, you can shoot here. I can show this example up here, like, you know, this thing's moving to the left, and in a moment, it's going to come over to the right. So as it moves over to the right, I'm going to aim slightly here so that by the time, you know, the projectile travels, it can hit the target. So it's a good idea that, you know, if you're new to first-person shooters or just in general, like getting better with the hit scan part and the projectile part, it's a good idea to just practice in the training range over here, as well as a workshop code that I will show off later, all right? So for now, you know, those are the basics to Soldier 76. We've talked about his bullets, his pulse bullets, and his Helix rocket, the right click. Usually to intercept a target, you're just going to spray them down and combo it up with your Helix rocket to confirm kills. Always remember to do your level best to maximize the Helix rocket usage. It really does come in handy. And the best part about Helix rockets is that they have splash damage. So you don't necessarily need to land the rocket. You can just shoot them in the general direction of an area. For example, like down here. Okay, well, that was a horrible display. But for example, let me just get the cooldown back. If I damage this bot a little bit and now he's going to come here, and I shoot it there at the floor, it's going to the splash damage is going to confirm the kill, right? So again, splash damage is very, very important. You know, there you go. You saw the splash damage. While the splash damage didn't confirm the kill, it did do some damage. In some cases, it can be really, really handy. Now, the final ability for Soldier 76, well, final two abilities for Soldier 76 are his shift, which is basically a sprint, allows you to run around the map. Just one thing to keep in mind, while you are running around the map with Soldier 76, you're not allowed to shoot or reload or anything like that. In the chance that you're going to do anything else, you'll be forced to stop and do the normal walking speed, right? So keep that in mind. Even if I, for example, if I want to reload, that's not the button. I'm forced to just walk. I can't reload like while I'm sprinting. It would actually be a really nice quality of life buff if he could do that. But to be fair, I do understand why Blizzard doesn't want to go that direction. It could be slightly strong. I don't know. It just depends on the way you look at it. Finally, Soldier 76's last ability that I haven't spoken about yet is the healing field, or in this case, what do we call it? The official name is the biotic field. So when you deploy it, it heals you and nearby allies, right? So usually what I like to do is, as soon as we're about to start a team fight, I deploy the biotic field, I play around the biotic field, you know, and it allows me to help my supports and as well as my tanks. Just while the healing is not that much, it does provide, you know, a little advantage here and there. In Overwatch, even the tiniest numbers can make a massive difference, like how Soldier 76's damage went from 18 damage per bullet to 19 damage per bullet, you know, which again helps a lot for breakpoints and things like that. So never underestimate, the biotic field, because it might work out really well. Finally, the ultimate for Soldier 76 is called Tactical Visor. This is basically an aim bot, and I don't think it needs that much of an explanation. You just use it, and you start spraying down your targets. Now, one of the changes that they have implemented to Tactical Visor is that it can headshot, and you can also use Tactical Visor to combo with your Helix rockets to do a great amount of burst damage. So make sure to utilize your entire kit as much as you can when you're playing with Soldier 76. Now the question might be, well, Abby, these are just training bots. How do I practice against the variety of different models in Overwatch? My friend, this is where I have a solution for you. You are going to go into the workshop game mode. You're going to go to custom games. If you're new to the game, I always try to view, like when I make these things, I try to view it from a new player's perspective. And in case anybody doesn't know that workshop codes are a thing, you're going to go here into, again, just let me walk it through again. So you're going to go into the custom games tab over here. You're going to click on create over here at the right side, and you're going to click on settings. You're going to click on this button here, import code. Over here, you will put VAXTA, VAXTA. Now, once you got the VAXTA code online, what's going to happen? It's going to load up this aim training and warm up. This is one of the best ways to get good at Overwatch because it allows you to practice your aim and all sorts of other things on characters with a variety of different models, right? So it's really, really good because, for example, the model for a Reinhardt is obviously not going to be same as a Kiriko or Symmetra, right? So this is a great way to start practicing like your aim, and while it might not be a representative of the actual game, and the map is like very open and in an enclosed space with no other like staircases and roads and the payload and things like that, it does allow you some time to just practice in general, like moving around on these different models and trying to, in this case, because Soldier is a damage over time hit scan character, you can actually practice your, tracing with him. So tracing these targets, you can practice, since Soldier is a hit scan, he's really good at dealing with Pharah. Well, he's not the best at dealing with Pharah, but you can certainly use it as a way to practice against flyers. So, like I might not be the best, but, over time with practice, anything is possible. And even with my aim, I'm a GM, I'm a GM Genji projectile player, but I do play some hit scan here and there when it's needed. So this is a good way to get your, practice in for things like that. Even just practicing tac visor, staying on one target, confirming a kill, confirming the next kill, confirming the next kill, confirming the next kill, etc., etc. This is a great way to practice. Another thing is you can actually practice with modifiers as well. For example, I want to practice with the Kiriko's Kitsune Rush. I'm going to click F, activate Kitsune Rush, and now I can practice a very, very fast tac visor, So look at that. That's amazing. I love the workshop codes, and I really hope some of the other ones that used to be around can come back too. So yeah, anytime you want to deactivate these modifiers, you can just click F up there again, and that's going to be perfect. Even over here, you can modify the bot movement. So you can click on hard, and obviously, the bot movement will, become relatively difficult. It's still, things you can manage. Hold on. You see that? That's a tip for you guys. If you're ever fighting a Genji and he deflects, just look to do splash damage. Honestly, splash damage goes a long way, so make sure to keep that in mind. All right. Let's, let's just kind of like let it go for now. So that's basically the basic introduction to Soldier 76, all right? Now the question might be, how do I play Soldier in a live game environment when I'm defending or attacking? So I'm going to show you the defending side first, and I'm not going to lie, defending is usually the boring part of the game because you're required to be a lot more disciplined. However, when you come to the attacking side, that's where you could do a variety of things with Soldier 76. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so moving on, we're going to be watching my gameplay over here of defending on King's Row. Usually the principle of defending in Overwatch is pretty much the same. You always want to try and play safe and punish the enemy when they're out of position. And sometimes very carefully you can take a slight off angle to try and look for a pick before going back to your team and playing around them. Now, how do I like to position Soldier 76? I like to play in between my tanks and my support. I like to be in this middle ground area where the tank is in front of me and I'm right next to my support so I can peel for them. If you don't know what peeling means, it starts with a P, not healing. Peeling, P for power. So peeling means to, well, basically just look out for a teammate and things like that. So obviously I could not save the Ana over there who was peeking her head out and she got blown off by the Torbjorn. But I can take some angles over here and just continue to apply pressure. I actually secured a kill on the Torb. Ana, I avenged you. Don't worry about it. I went for a bit of an aggressive peek against the Hanzo. I only took one quick helix rocket shot, and I was out of there. I didn't want to risk it because Hanzo, you know, he's a sniper, he can one-shot you. Anyways, so I'm playing around corners quite a bit. There are times where obviously you do want to get into the main choke or the main sight line and just apply pressure, but be careful, because if you're not, over here you're about to see I overstayed my welcome and I got my head blown off right away, just like my Ana did previously. So remember, you have to be disciplined. Overwatch is a game about seconds, and you have to make use of these seconds as fast as possible. Let them make the mistakes, you don't be the one to make the mistake. Of course, you need sightlines to be able to pressure the enemy, but try to make sure that you're always moving, you're always AD strafing, moving left and right, jumping around, crowd spamming, anything to mess with your hitbox. And just be careful overall, and you'll be able to achieve a good defense. Now, don't get greedy on defense and look for kills unless you really do have 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒. Over here, I get nanoed, I go in, and one by one, we're able to secure a nice 3k on the enemy team. Unfortunately, I was about to get the 4k, but I got my head blown off again, you know, so I'm not going to hide my deaths, because, you know, dying is a part of the game, but we try to reduce dying as much as possible. You know, so that's something to keep in mind, is if you just play it like that in general, where again, the core idea of playing on defense is to just play safe, calm, and reserve. Take aggressive angles if you need to, because you might be feeling pressured one way or the other. Make sure to move back if the enemy team is moving in on you and your team hasn't secured a kill. If your tank has died first, disengage completely. And most importantly, you can take aggressive off angles if you have 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐿. Okay, in case you don't understand anything, don't worry about it. Leave it in the comment section down below, and I'd be more than happy to explain in detail. Now we're going to be looking at how to play Soldier 76 in an attacking scenario. For this gameplay, I'm going to be taking you to Oasis. How do we attack with Soldier 76? This is where we have a little bit more freedom. I'm going to be using footage from a King of the Hill game mode or control point game mode. The map is going to be Oasis. I'm playing Soldier 76, and right away, as you can see, I wanted to take the high ground over here on the right side of University, and I did get contested. In a moment, you'll see that there's a Genji that makes his way up here, as well as his teammate tried to come in to help him out. I accidentally shot into the deflect, but it's okay, because the Cassidy actually overextended to the point that me and my Pharah were able to burst him down. From here, I just tried to get a good angle on the enemy and just apply pressure. My tank actually is fighting the enemy tank. I didn't want to waste my time just, you know, brawling the tank only for them to get healed. It's a smarter idea to focus other things. I did help out in the regard that I destroyed the immortality field. I blocked the pathway for the Jungle Queen from escaping. That's kind of a niche mechanic, but, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Then I just kept running around and confirming kills and just kept moving. Look at that. There we go. We got like, what, 3-4 kills that team fight? And that was us just being smart with our movement, where to be, when to be there, and why. Always remember, in a game like Overwatch, you need to always be moving. It's not like Valorant or CSGO, where you need to stop moving and, you know, be careful with how you engage your enemies. In this game, you don't really have quote-unquote bullet spread, I believe, or like, you know, just like your accuracy remains 100% is what I'm trying to say. So the only thing that you should be concerned about in Overwatch is you should always be moving around. As you can see, moving around, you know, is the reason why this Genji wasn't able to kill me, and I confirmed 2 kills over there. And I just kept, you know, I kept the map control up. Like, I'm over here because I'm constantly moving, I'm watching different angles. I'm just, you know, like, and now I'm kind of defending as well. So, you know, we're learning attacking and defending both at the same time when we're watching King of the Hill maps. You know, I'm just being smart with my positioning. If somebody contests me and I feel like, okay, I can't win this or whatever, I don't overstay my welcome. I get out of there where I still can. I go over to my teammates. I drop the healing field for them. It gives them just enough HP to survive. I pull out my visor. Unfortunately, my visor got me killed. But you guys know, like, you know how to use 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐿 and things like that. So just be smart with your cooldowns, your abilities, and everything. And you will actually find a lot of success. Now, before I do end the video, I do have one final general advice in regards to getting better with your aim and confirming kills. Play the deathmatch game mode. It makes a massive difference. A lot of Overwatch players that I know, that I've coached previously and not, they underestimate how good the deathmatch game mode can be to simulating a real Overwatch environment in terms of 1v1 interactions, or just, you know, interactions in general of you interacting with enemy players and trying to confirm kills and things like that. So please do experiment. And finally, my last advice, sometimes, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, sometimes that what holds a player back is genuinely that they haven't found the right sensitivity on the character that they might be playing. Everybody the heroes in Overwatch are in such a unique way that more often than not, all of them will not share the same sensitivity. So it's probably a good idea to experiment with slower sensitivities, higher sensitivities, whatever you feel comfortable with, and I'm sure you will find something for yourself that will help you out. Now, with that being said, that is it. That is it for this video. If you enjoy this type of content, I have more best guide videos coming for the future, along with all sorts of other things. I'll also be doing a battle pass giveaway. So if you're interested in the battle pass giveaway, let me know in the comment below by typing battle pass. Please let me in. And by Overwatch 2 Invasion, I'll be giving away 2 or 3 battle passes depending on how many people enter. With that being said, do subscribe and like. It's a free way to support the channel, and I will see you in the next one.